Let's talk about your brain on pornography versus real intimacy and how to relearn love and healthy sexuality. If you've ever felt disconnected from your partner, even during sex, you're not alone. Like many men who are rebooting or recovering from compulsive porn use quietly ask that same question, like, why do I struggle to feel close even with someone I love and care for deeply? Right? Like you may care deeply for your partner, you may crave affection, but when it comes to intimacy, that emotional closeness, you're there physically, but emotionally you feel that something's missing. If you felt that, then this isn't about failure. You're not failure. It's about something your brain has learned and something you can also unlearn. The human brain is designed to connect reward with meaningful experience, especially when it comes to sex and love. In a healthy bonding process, pleasure is tied to emotional closeness, to eye contact and physical touch, to shared vulnerability, to feeling safe and seen, and so on. But when pornography becomes a regular part of your life, it gradually rewires how your brain experiences arousal. So instead of rewarding presence and connection, your brain starts linking pleasure to novelty and constant variety, to fantasy over reality, to emotional detachment, to control and this one-sided gratification. And over time, this changes your body and how your body and mind respond to real people. But when pornography becomes a regular part of your life, it gradually rewires how your brain experiences arousal. So instead of rewarding presence and connection, your brain starts linking pleasure to novelty and constant variety, to fantasy instead of reality, to emotional detachment, to control, and to a very one-sided sort of gratification. And over time, this changes how your body and your mind responds to real people. So you might begin to notice that maybe you feel less interested in your partner, even though you care deeply for them, or that you rely on fantasy to stay aroused during intimacy, or you find sex with a real person more effortful or less satisfying, or you experience emotional discomfort whenever you're close to somebody. And these experiences can feel confusing, sometimes even painful. But they're not signs of failure, okay? They're signs that your brain has adapted to an artificial model of connection, one that it can also relearn to let go of. The difference between pornography and intimacy is that pornography simulates connection while real intimacy creates it. Pornography is fast, it is predictable, and it is completely controlled. But real intimacy is slow, it is mutual, and sometimes it is just uncertain, like life. Porn doesn't ask for anything in return, but real intimacy involves emotional presence, it involves trust, it involves openness. You have to grow. These differences matter because the brain, especially during repeated exposure, begins to favor that easier, low-risk option. But ease isn't the same as fulfillment. While porn may offer these short-term stimuli, real intimacy offers something much deeper. It offers safety, it offers emotional attunement, it offers you feeling chosen and respected and accepted. It offers the joy of being known and knowing that you're still loved. And that kind of connection, it can't be clicked into, but it can be cultivated even after years of disconnection. So for many men who have used pornography regularly, the shift towards real intimacy does not happen overnight. In fact, it often follows a very gradual unfolding path. You may feel emotionally numb at first, common. The brain needs time to recalibrate after overstimulation. You may feel like you should be excited or emotionally present, but instead you feel flat. So this is not a permanent state, it's just part of the detox and the healing. Secondly, you may feel anxious or avoidant when things get emotionally close. So if porn was your way of staying in control, the unpredictability of real connection can feel uncomfortable. Again, not a flaw in your character, it's a sign that your nervous system is just learning something new. Third, you might long for connection, but not know how to approach it. This is also part of the process. So wanting intimacy is a very healthy impulse. Relearning how to give and receive it takes time and patience with yourself. Healing starts when you can begin to notice these shifts without judging them. Like every awkward conversation, every moment of emotional vulnerability, every effort to be present, these are the building blocks of real intimacy. There's no linear path to emotional and sexual wholeness, no checklist that guarantees immediate closeness. But there are ways to create the right conditions for healing. Just like you would tend to your body if it was hurt or wounded, or a garden or a forgotten part of yourself that's slowly, waking back up. So I'm going to share 5 foundational practices from Porn Reboot. Now, they're not meant to be finished quickly. They're meant to be returned to over and over until they become a part of how you live and ideally how you love. The first is begin with presence, not performance. So many men enter intimate spaces and you're already carrying a silent weight, like the pressure to perform, to impress her, to get it right. But connection begins not with action, but with attention. So practice simply being with another person, not fixing, not managing, not seducing, just being. Next is like sit across from someone and really begin to notice their voice, their tonality, their pauses. Be okay with silence. You don't have to fill it. If you're in a relationship, try laying beside your partner without touching, just noticing their breathing and yours. And if you're not, begin with friends. Like deep listening is a form of presence and practice. You're learning to stay in your body, to stay in the room, to stay emotionally attuned. This is the foundation of intimacy. Second is redefine intimacy beyond the finish line. And that means that pornography teaches us that intimacy ends in climax. But real connection teaches us that intimacy actually begins in emotional safety. So if sex feels awkward, if your arousal seems unpredictable, or if you find yourself worrying about performing well, remember that your worth is not tied to how well your body performs. So let intimacy become about a shared experience and not scripted outcomes. So that might mean that, you might have to laugh through awkward moments or pause during sex to talk and hold each other or choose to explore affection, like to touch or massage without the pressure to escalate. And if it feels unfamiliar, then that's okay. You're unlearning something artificial so you can make space for something real. Third is create room for connection without sexual expectations. I know, no sex, right? So when you're rebooting, one of the most important shifts is learning how to value non-sexual intimacy with the opposite sex. And so this might seem subtle, but it's actually deeply healing. When you learn how to feel emotionally connected without immediately seeking sexual gratification, your brain begins to form healthier pathways, the ones that are based on trust, on empathy and presence, rather than stimulation and escape. And you can nurture this by developing friendships where you can be emotionally open without needing to express, engaging in meaningful, creative, or collaborative activities with others like music, art, service, spiritual practices, or allowing your desire for closeness to exist without trying to solve it sexually. So you'll start to discover the emotional nourishments that can come from places that you'd absolutely forgotten to look. The fourth is listen to your body with curiosity, not judgment. After years of numbing, right, many men struggle to interpret the signals that their body actually sends. So you may feel anxious in moments that are supposed to feel good. You may go numb when things get emotional. You might misinterpret discomfort as disinterest, or you might push past your boundaries just out of fear. So my recommendation is actually to start small. So rebuild trust with your body by noticing how it responds to different situations. Right? Like does your stomach tense up when someone gets close to you? Do you hold your breath when you are emotionally exposed? Or do you feel relief or restlessness when during affection? Like let these cues speak, not to judge you, but to guide you. Every sensation is an invitation for you to check in. With time, your body is going to become more than just a tool for pleasure, but it will become a place of wisdom, a place of safety, a place of truth. And the fifth is name what you feel, even if it's incomplete. So, one of the most courageous things that you can do is say out loud what is happening inside, even when the words feel clumsy or you feel unsure of them. So, you don't need to analyze everything. You don't have to sound eloquent or clear. You just have to be honest. So, try saying sentences like, I'm feeling kind of nervous right now, or I want to feel close to you, but I'll keep it real. I'm also a little bit scared. Something feels off and I'm not sure why. So for the guys, I'm saying this in a masculine way so that you can feel comfortable with it, right? You can also say, you know what, this feels new for me and I'm trying to stay present. So the goal isn't to have all the answers. It's to allow someone else into the room with you, like emotionally, mentally, spiritually, instead of trying to navigate it all alone. And naming your experience is how you make space for someone to meet you there. So there's no rush here. There's no finish line that you're racing towards. Love, trust, touch, and vulnerability. These things are relearned at the speed of, let's call it, gentleness. So you don't need to arrive at intimacy. You only need to keep returning to the parts of you that are still willing to try. And if some days just feel like setbacks, that's okay. Just come back again and again. Every moment that you choose to show up, awkward, honest, unguarded, it's a step towards becoming someone who is not just sexually sober, but emotionally whole. You're not just quitting pornography, you're recovering the ability to love and be loved in return. And that, my brother, that is a sacred journey. If all of this feels slow or uncomfortable, a different pace, that's okay. You're not behind. You're not bad at intimacy. You're just relearning something that the world didn't teach you well, right? So this is not about fixing yourself. This is about remembering how your body was meant to feel, how your heart was meant to open, how love was meant to be mutual, not consumed, right? The truth is that you are capable of meaningful, joyful, connected sex. You are capable of emotional closeness that doesn't scare you. You're capable of becoming someone who feels safe, who feels grounded, who feels alive in love. These aren't things you force. They're things you grow into step by step. And the beautiful thing is that you don't have to do it perfectly. You just have to keep showing up. And you can start by, I'll keep it simple, just book a free call with me. Have a conversation with me. I'll listen to you. And at the very least, I can provide you with a customized a roadmap for your journey at no cost, right? There's a link somewhere on this page. Go ahead and click it, and we'll be happy to help you.